Hello everyone, that Manga Kid here to give my full series review of Hatsu Haru. This is by Shizuki Fujisawa. This is a Yen Press release totaling 13 volumes. And this is a shoujo series that takes place from the male perspective. This is following several different people. So Kai is our main character, and it's his friends who you can see. There's one here, one there, and where's the other guy? Over here. So there's 4 boys and 4 girls, and it kind of reminds me, gives the vibe of Kimi ni Todoroki, where it starts off kind of with the main couple, but then as the series progresses, the other friends kind of get involved and start coupling up with other people. Obviously, this is nowhere near as long as Kimi ni Todoroki, and it definitely has a different vibe than that, but just in terms of, the friends kind of starting all to date, that is sort of how this series works, is it doesn't just focus on this main couple. There's other couplings going on. So this one, I have a bit of a rocky relationship with this one, but it ended on a high note. So I bought the first 5 volumes of this originally. A lot of people were recommending it. I really liked the cover art. I thought that the story sounded good. So I bought 5 volumes of it. And by the end of the 5th volume, I was really disinterested. I didn't find myself connected to the characters at all. I didn't find myself interested in any of them, not enough to pick up any more of it. And I kind of went, well, I have these 5 volumes. It is what it is. I didn't really like this. I'm just going to shelve it. And yeah, that's it. And I didn't think about it for well over a year. I just kind of went, well, it's, at the time I had also bought Daytime Shooting Star, which I had a very similar feeling to. I read the first 3 and was very disappointed and just went, well, this is another new shoujo that I just don't like. So they both got shelved. And then for whatever reason, a few months ago, I kind of started feeling like I wanted to read more of this series, and I started thinking about the characters and went, maybe I'll just pick up another volume of this and see how I feel about it. And so I picked up 6 and 7 or 6, 7, 8 or something just to continue, and really got hooked at that point, and then bought the rest of it and read it all. So yeah, I am glad that I decided to give this another chance. I didn't actually reread the first 5 that I had read a couple years ago, or a year and a half or so ago. I just kind of continued where I had left off, which was fine. I'm sure there's stuff that happened in the first 5 that I kind of forget, and when I do a reread of this series, I'll get more out of it because I'll remember everything that happened. But this was a fun one. I think, so our main character is male. He's a playboy. He's, frivolous and stupid. But he meets Riko, I think is her name. Yeah, Riko. And she's kind of a tomboy. She's pretty rough with him. And he's kind of enamored with her. And so, he wants to date her, and she's not so sure, and then they do inevitably kind of start dating pretty quickly, and it just kind of goes from there, and you watch this playboy who's used to just flirting with everybody kind of becoming really devoted to one person, that person being Riko. And then you watch his friends also kind of going through their own little transformations from their original personalities to someone a little more responsible or reasonable or outgoing, depending on who the person is, as they kind of grow and mature alongside the girls that they start dating. So it's really just a fun, fluffy series about friendship and romance. It does have a pretty healthy male friendship, which I really enjoyed. That was kind of the highlight for me, is the way that these boys kind of interact with each other, and you can tell that they really care about each other. And I thought it was quite cute. I will say it definitely just there were times where I'm suspending my disbelief that you know, these boys are all getting together and like gossiping in a cutesy way about their girlfriends and like getting together and cooking and baking and, doing like that kind of stuff for their girlfriends. And I'm like, yeah, there's guys out there that do that. And I've been one of them in the past, but like I certainly did not have any male friends who were also doing the same thing. Um, like it felt very fluffy and really like overly cutesy in some points. And I know kind of when I first started reading this, I found that the series starts off too quickly of like, we're supposed to believe this guy's kind of a jerk playboy dude. He's full of himself. He's, whatever. And then all of a sudden we're supposed to believe that a 180 personality shift happens where now he's 1,000% committed to this girl who doesn't really seem to like him very much. Um, in fact, she really doesn't like him at the beginning. Um, so I just found it a little bit hard to believe and just like really hard to get into their relationship because I just didn't believe it. And I didn't feel it. But as I got further into the series, like they were cute, that's fine, whatever. But it was more the side characters that I was really much more interested in, and kind of latched onto. And so, that's what kept me going. And I thoroughly enjoyed the rest of the series. And I'm excited to reread this in the future to kind of get more out of it, hopefully. But I think if you're looking for a cute shoujo that's slightly different because it is from the male perspective, then this is a fun one to pick up. I know a lot of people speak really highly about this one. And now that I've read it, it is for good reason. It was fun. It was cute. It was, you know, everything you kind of want a shoujo to be. Um, I do really like the character designs. I think his face is quite cute. Their fashion is also pretty nice as well. I don't know if there's really much at the beginning by way of like non-school clothing right away. Oh, there's some. Yeah, I like the boys and the girls, but I really like their fashion. I think it's kind of fun. This is another one that does, like, obviously it takes place at school, but for the most part, a lot of the scenes, maybe I'm remembering more than actually exists, but I remember like quite a bit of it doesn't actually take place on school property, which is nice as well. We're getting more and more series, I think, that kind of, they're like, yeah, they're in high school, but that's not their existence. Like they go out afterward and they, go on dates or they are hanging out at each other's houses or whatever. It's not like solely focused on school life, which I like. And yeah, no, this was a fun one. I think that I am glad I gave it another chance. And yeah, there's a reason, I guess, why over a year later, all of a sudden I was, thinking about these characters and wanting to revisit them. So I guess that's a good sign. And hopefully I'll be interested in revisiting this story and these characters in the future to reread it. So if you've read this, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you have any suggestions of other ones like this that you'd like to recommend, please do. Yeah, thanks for watching.